Hi, this is Brendan Davis from Bedrock Games and the Bedrock blog, and today I want to talk about the restored Dragon Inn movie. This is a Eureka DVD Blu-ray combo. I think it just came out last year, maybe not even last year. It might be this year that it came out. It's a restored version that I think they were screening at select theaters. It came by here actually, and I missed it. I called up every movie theater to find out if it was going to play again, but they said that the ship had sailed. So I had to track this down and get it. Unfortunately, this is a Region B Blu-ray and a Region 2 DVD. I couldn't play the Blu-ray on my Blu-ray player, and normally that isn't an issue for me. So I don't know if it's just my Blu-ray player is on the fritz, or if it's this disc has something about it that makes it more difficult to crack. So I ended up watching the DVD, and the DVD was exceptional. I saw a number of people complain that it was that the restoration was maybe heavy-handed. I I I don't know if that affected my sense of things because I'm not really somebody who's technically savvy on these things, but I did kind of notice that, but I didn't mind because my copy of Dragon Inn is so bad. The visuals, the sound, like on my version, the sound crackles and you can barely see anything on the screen. And it's not a bootleg or anything like that. It's just that was the copy I was able to get, and I think a lot of DVDs of Dragon Inn look like that. So I was really pleased to get it in vibrant colors so that at least could approximate what King Hu originally wanted, and to me it looked really nice. I think the chief complaint was some people thought the color selection was maybe too modern or something. I didn't really notice any of that, so maybe I'm just not sophisticated enough. But I really liked it. The sound was great. The image quality was great. It was maybe not quite as good as the Touch of Zen restoration that I was just talking about, but still really great. And definitely worth picking up if you like this film. I have a blog entry on the film, so I won't get too into the plot, but basically, there's a bunch of heroes who are all meeting at an inn to help rescue the children of an official who was executed and help escape them from a corrupt ministry board that's trying to kill them. And that's it in a nutshell. But it's just a really entertaining wuxia film. And one of the things I love about it is the way that uh, there's sort of a balance to this movie. So both the heroes and the villains will not really leave any death uncommented on. So if the villains kill somebody, the hero points out, "Hey, you killed my friend." If the hero kills somebody, the villains point out, "Hey, you killed some of my men here." So there's kind of this sense, and it's not like they're trying to make the villains good guys or sympathetic. They're still really bad, but you get the sense that the villains at least have some basic, things where they care about their men. They're not in gaming terms. They're not chaotic stupid. They feel like people that are just as grounded as the heroes, even if they've taken a different course and they're not on the righteous path. So and I think the same thing applies to the big villain, the eunuch in the movie, where in wuxia there you see there's this frequent shot that I see, and again I'm no expert on film, so this is just a fan kind of talking here, but a lot of times you see these shots where they have the hero and he's just mowing down guys, and it's kind of like the camera follows, and as somebody enters the field of view, they're pretty much cut down the moment that they enter, and that's usually a shot that I only associate with the heroes. But the villain gets a shot that's almost just like that later in the film, and again, it wasn't like they were trying to make it like an overly sympathetic villain, but you did kind of get a better sense of him, and I don't know, in a way it enhanced his menace, because if he's mowing down heroes like that, that's a little bit alarming. So I just liked the balance between the good guys and the bad guys in this, and I think that's so important because the whole thing is basically a showdown at an inn, and there's a lot of tension and suspense that hinges on you buying into the good guy and buying into the bad guy. And so it's just, I don't know, it's an interesting movie in that respect. The villain in this one is super menacing. He's a eunuch that heads this corrupt ministry, and he's an asthmatic. So his one weakness is he kind of loses his wind every once in a while. And King Hu uses some interesting techniques to to get at that. But one of the things that you really see in the restored version that you don't really pick up on as much, I think, in at least the version I have, is the villain. He starts out, he's just like shrouded in regalia, like he has like like a blanket of some kind on and all kinds of official robes, and it's just layers and layers of prestige and power. And over the course of the movie, he takes off those layers, and each layer of clothing in this version, you can see how vibrant and colorful they are, and I think that's really important. So stuff like that really pops out, and just in general, I mean, it's a King Hu movie, so he every shot feels composed, and the more that you can see in the colors and everything, just the better the better it immerses you in these shots. So I put this on last night, and I was just sucked into the TV watching it. I've seen it a bunch of times already, so I've already kind of got a built-in expectation of it. I don't know how it would affect somebody who hadn't seen the movie before. What I think it'll do, when I first watched Dragon Inn, I really had to kind of struggle to engage it, not because it was a bad movie, but because the image quality and the sound were so bad. I had to really go that extra step to allow myself to get into it. And I think somebody who picks up this version rather than the version I got will have just an easier time experiencing the film for the first time. So I was really impressed with this. It comes with a nice little booklet filled with essays, which I liked. Sometimes you get like image cards and stuff that's kind of useless inside these things, but this is actual information. And there's an essay by Shui Hark. There's essays by people who I'm sure are important, but like Tony Raines, I don't know who he is, but it was a nice essay to read. So I found this pretty helpful, and it comes with both the Blu-ray and the DVD, and I don't think it was too expensive, but again, it is Region B, so if you and they're apparently pretty strict about that, because when I popped in the Blu-ray, I got a message that said, "We're sorry you have to read this, but like the manufacturers or somebody is basically making us code these to Region B." So again, I think more argument for why there shouldn't be Region B, because this movie is technically not, the restored version is not really watchable outside of Region B areas, and I think that's awful. So hopefully people can write to Eureka and get them to do Region A in other regions, because it's a great restoration. It looks beautiful, but it's a shame that it's not as widely available, because this is like a classic movie, and that a restoration like this isn't available all over the place is just a shame. So hopefully they're planning on doing something like that down the road, and I will absolutely let you know if that's the case. Also, I did want to point out another movie I got. I don't want to talk about it at length, but I like the Zoo Warriors from Magic Mountain, and this is the Fortune Star. I think it's a Blu-ray DVD. Yeah, Blu-ray DVD combo, I think. I just watched this one last night as well. Oh, it's just a Blu-ray. And this was really good. I have a couple of other copies of it, and my other versions, the image quality just isn't quite as nice as this one. So I recommend this Fortune Star Blu-ray if you happen to get a hold of it. I think it might be, I don't know, there's a lot of Korean subtitles on this one, so I don't know if it was made in Korea, but the one thing I did notice about this is the sound seemed fine, but the soundtrack, like the musical soundtrack, seemed a little bit low. I'd have to go back and look at my other versions of Zoo to see if that's the case with them, but I found, maybe because it was a Blu-ray and I was just paying more attention, I noticed that the music just felt a little bit low volume to me. Again, I don't know if it's this one in particular, or if my other ones are like that as well, but I did pick up on that, and I never noticed that before, so I thought I would just point that out to people just in case. But again, it's the Dragon Inn and Zoo Warriors from Magic Mountain. Every once in a while, I like to get like cleaner copies of movies that I really like, and so I was quite excited when these showed up on my door the other day. I have a bunch of movies that I've been going over. Again, I'm going to try to do films more often now that I haven't reviewed or haven't watched before. Um, I got a bunch of films coming up, and I've tracked down a bunch of movies that I haven't seen, and I'm going to watch them, and I'm going to put up reviews. I also have some very nice Ogre Gate updates coming up, which I can't really talk about right now, but some big surprises there, some things developed that I was not expecting, and so I'm looking forward to being able to talk about them. So again, I have to go. I have a game to prep for. If you want me to review anything in particular, and it's something that's easy enough for me to get my hands on, feel free to mention it in the comments, and I'll take a shot at it. If you want me to stop reviewing certain kinds of movies, let me know. But for right now, I'm going to be just kind of plowing through a bunch of different films and reviewing them. I'm kind of enjoying doing that, so that's what I've been using this channel for mainly. And I'll probably have a few more gaming, video blogs up in, I don't know, the next few days or so. I've been busy in that respect because I've been working so much on Aggregate. I just haven't had time to breathe. So when I do these gaming videos, I usually like to have a little time to sit down and think about what I want to say, and so I don't want to just turn on the camera and just talk randomly. So hopefully in the next week or so, once I get the Ogre PDF out, I will have more time to think, and I will be on here more talking about other stuff. So until then, I will talk to you later.